Hello, welcome to my little theatre. It's strange for you to visit here and not during one of the live streams. So I went down to London for a few days and went to see a few shows, plus an interesting visit to sea life, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. I didn't actually mean that pun there, but instead of doing another big research video about each show I went to see, I decided just do a few bullet points of notes of each. We're gonna do like a big mega review. You're gonna try and make something different here. So if you want to see me natter more about shows, make sure to like and subscribe, and you can see more theatre chats from me, your resident stage door VTuber. I have already uploaded a video talking about going to see My Neighbour Totoro at the Barbican. So if you want to see more in-depth detail about like the production of that show, go check that out. The one we went to see is at the Gillian Lynne, once again done by the Royal Shakespeare Company. And this isn't the first time we've been to the Gillian Lynne. We don't talk about the first time we went to the Gillian Lynne.
I'm not your Cinderella. I'm your bad Cinderella.
That's still one of my least favourite shows of all time. But the theming around this area was so well done. You have the photo opportunity for the umbrella, various props. You have suit sprites, like almost like coming down from the ceiling. And it embraced the show. If you aren't aware what the show's about, you have Satsuki and Mei, they've got a new house in the countryside, and they encounter a whole world of spirits, including Totoro, the spirit of the forest. But are they real? Or is it just their fantasy? I will say, I'm going to say this outright, I do prefer Barbican as a venue, just due to the sightlines, but as the seats I managed to get was incredible, even though there was parts that were like slightly blocked off. I was right next to Ai Nehemiah, who sang Stroll to open the show, and there was just an incredible moment. The character is known as the voice of the wind, and it just kind of brings these songs I used to listen to so many times when I was younger. It brought it to life, and it helped these, like, if they just had a band, I think it would have been okay. But having that that singer just to sing over it, it's like, especially like scenes where it's the mother reading the letter, and I think it's one of the most like almost terrifying scenes, not in like horror sense, but like this could actually be something serious, because Ghibli movies is nothing bad will happen to a child in a Ghibli movie. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna say it here. If they ever make a Grave of the Fireflies play, I will be there. And I will be crying. They have, like how it was, they have the band at the back of the stage, almost in brambles, hiding them on the foliage, just like how Totoro and his friends hide in the foliage. But you also had the band at the side, so I got to see like some of the band hiding in. And it's like the stage transformation, once again, amazing, and how like the house can like move apart, turn it into the hospital. But due to where I'm sitting, I did miss the attic scene. But it made me glad, because I had seen it before, so I didn't feel like I missed much. We once again saw Ami Okumaru Jones as Satsuki, and still I'm haunted by the guttural screams during that pond dredging. It's just absolute fantastic work, and Victoria Chen does an incredible job bringing the childlike wonder and mannerisms of Mei to life. Like, this whole cast is incredible. I don't want to just glance over the actors, just because I love the creatures in this show, which, they've recently just uploaded the video for like showing how it was made, but I won't be showing any of that, because I think it's better to kind of keep more of the secret. This is the one show if I could have asked to see backstage of any show, it's this one. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm kind of like a puppet right now, yeah. I just want to shout out Jamie Sabari for this kind message they sent me. I loved your performance. You're like a warm Matt Berry as your role, Hiroshi. I did this last time, but I just want to name and credit every single one of the puppeteers. The puppeteers: Bose Chad, Rachel Claire Chan, Sally Cheng, Sabrina Pugh Yin Chin, Victor E. Tang, Gabriel S. Norris, Anna Cato, Heather Lai, Ronnie Lee, Wen Hison Lee, Matthew Leonhardt, Amber Lynn, Sarah Mahara, Anna Kanako Mori, Lucy Park, Richard P. Peralta, Chloe Ragrag, and Nathaniel Tan. They brought everything alive, not just from like spirits to chickens to vegetation. To be honest, my favourite is still the bus. It's silly and it's so my cup of tea. So overall, yes, I will be seeing this a third time, and a fourth, and definitely a fifth. Although you may see Totoro when you're very young, this magical adventure is one that everyone should go and see. From Broadway and now appearing in the West End, this is an adaptation of the 1925 classic by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it's set in the Roaring Twenties, the age of jazz, with the mysterious man of much wealth, Jay Gatsby, who's throwing extravagant parties but not attending, seemingly pining for his long-lost love. But as invites go out to someone, the party is only just starting. We saw The Great Gatsby for actually their 101st performance. The London Coliseum is an absolutely glorious venue. Like, Paul Tate the Pooh III's scenic design on projections were incredible, especially the pool. And you don't realise how important the pool is until you get to that too. And just how much I love just how much it glitters, and especially how prominent the green light is. Linda Cho's costumes were superb, and it really gives a really heightened version of the 1920s. Everything is brought up to 11. You have the transitions from the glamorous upper class to the slums, and especially how you view how big the rooms are the upper class have, and then you have these small apartments and how confined it feels. It's just the overlooking eyes of the Doctor. It's just every time that appeared, it was just incredible. Cast-wise, we have Jamie Moscato. This is actually the second time me seeing him in a kind of lead role. First time was in Heathers when it was a Haymarket. He brings kind of mystique to the performance, kind of what Gasby had in the original novel. If you read in the book, the Gatsby was a charming man, but also he's a bit bumbling, and he just really cares for his love. And Jamie matches this perfectly, and it's almost you're clownish, where it's stumbling over bushes, hiding away. That absolutely haunting vocals of when he sings for her, and it's reprises. That stage fall is just so brutal and so raw. I don't have any other words to describe it. If I had a nickel for each time Jamie Moscato was killed by someone of the Fletcher family circle, I would have 2 nickels. It's not much, but it's weird it's happened twice. Corbin Bleu is Nick Carraway, and let's just get this out of the way. I met them at stage door. I don't think I'll be this obsessed with musical theatre if it wasn't for High School Musical, Camp Rock, Jumpin'. I was fixated with High School Musical that I learned camera angles and research how did they do that shot of making things turn upside down. And this was me under the age of 10 looking at this. Corbin shouldn't just be known for that, especially recently. He's done an incredible job as Seymour with Jinx Monsoon and A Little Shop of Horrors. He gives such a fantastic performance in this as a fading optimist. He managed to portray the slow downfall and in every narration he gives. Speaking this to his door. Hi Frances, nice to meet you again. Frances is a boon to every project she touches, whether she's been messing with the gods of death or just walking the cobbles of Glasgow. Now, I held off the story because if you don't know the plot, if you'd done English in high school, it's one of the pieces you're likely to do. Anyway, Act 2's spiral into tragedy kind of comes out of blue. If you go compare Act 1 to Act 2, it is jarring, and it's not a slow decline like Lim is, where it's oh yeah, things are coming and it's going to end badly. The best way to describe it is a car just skeltering to a halt, which is ironically the moment where the whiplash is a bit too strong for me. It's not other musicals kind of lead towards the tragedy, but again, I've read the book, I knew this was coming, but it's a show people have been roaring about and having an enjoyable time. And it would be worth for me to take another listen to some of the songs that may have passed me by, as a few other songs took the limelight over, I think, For Her and The Party Goes On. Those 2 songs stay in the focal, well, I feel the other songs kind of dim. But I really enjoyed this adaptation of this legendary piece of literature. Good timing of that trailer of the final series, huh? Stranger Things The First Shadow serves as kind of an official prequel for the series, as it follows along of who would be Henry Creel, and somewhat origin of the Upside Down. Before we talk about the show, I didn't want to mention the ice cream and the merch, like how you can just go up and get scoops of Ahoy ice cream. It's theatre pricing ice cream though, so heads up with that. I still find it's weird in Broadway they don't have like little ice creams at interval. The script was written by series writer Kate Treefry and playwright Jack Thorne, and it sets up the rest of the Netflix series of us getting to see how things were in 1959. We do have to quickly mention there's the opening in 1943 with Demogorgons attack this ship called the USL Bridge from a place called Dimension X, which is helped clarify is a different dimension. Well, the upside down is like, if you get a Venn diagram and like and it's like the dimension X one side, I have like our world that side, like the upside down's like here in the middle. This is actually the only time we see Demogorgons this entire show, which is actually a bit of a shame. Not like a thing me like, why not we have more Demogorgons, those are the best part. It's more it's just an impressive set they use for one moment, which is in concept, it's wild. The production wise, like, alright, would this set's only be used for a minute, and it goes straight into like incredible having the text on screen of like the title sequence using a scrim, the real projection work. Pretty impressive. I will say we're going to go into spoilers now because there's only one way I can kind of explain what's going on is through spoilers. So heads up. I think the biggest flaw of this comes from the remember this character syndrome. As in, we have Hopper there, of course, we had to have them there, but they're not allowed to actually be part of the main plot. Because they don't see anything sci-fi until they're older. So the writing of Act 1 felt, remember that character? Here's them as kids. You know your favourite character? It's them, but younger. Another character who's just set up to be an audience favourite, only for them to be brutally killed with Patty Newby. I sat watching this, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be another newbie who's going to be killed. But surprisingly, they lived. Like, oh yeah, I'm happy that happened. It's more like, that she's going to appear in season 5, isn't she? There's certain parts I enjoyed. I enjoyed the moments with Henry and Patty. There was a fun. I really liked the camp dream sequence. It brought the campness of like some parts, like especially like the never-ending story scene. It is fun because they're kids. They're meant to have fun, but this did so well because this camp dream sequence of like this whole church dancing and singing with like the mother. It's just it had such anxiety to it, which creates excellent tension. Like you know something's coming and you worry, but the vibes are too great. It's very like it's very poesque. We've got all these established characters who are going to appear in the series, so we can't hurt them or like have them die. So it's just more the fact that they really just don't like Bob, do they? They set up this whole thing was like how great he was in the series. He dies, and then there's is like his dad's went insane, his face is clawed apart, and his sister's gone, alive, but Henry's still watching her. This is again why I thought Patty was going to die, because there's no one else to kill to have a big impact. The kills are impressive though. I still believe the kills would impress like someone like James L. Janice. Like the cat was great, and the Creoles, a few nameless guards. It's just okay. That story ran over, but the cast again were amazing, and especially like Lewis Haley is Henry Creel. And even the swings was holding flashlights to cause this like unnerving tension. And every time Henry switches over with the bars going up, the quick set changes, I was just in awe of the production. And then, again, I mentioned the scrim with the projections and like the transition to the bedroom at the start. It felt like you're watching a TV show over a play. The show is visually stunning, auditorily grabbing, but is unable to get an audience. I might not be running up the hill to get another ticket, but I do think it may be interesting to go see if you're a fan of the series, or interesting to see what the technical side is like. This is a sad show, but we're going to review it anyway. Hadestown is I've loved for so long. I'm obsessed with this show. I've had it on soundtrack for like such a long time. Like, give me like any Greek retelling and it got me hooked. Especially how much I've been like quoting Epic the Musical, especially I love lately. Get to see more of the kind of good guy of Hades. Because in this, he is kind of a villain, but at the soul of it, yes, like, all the gods really in Greek storytelling are not really connected to humanity. Some care more than others, and some are Zeus. Kind of that disconnect they have from the mortal world. Hades is the one that interacts with mortals the most, because this is where they live now. They live with him. He guards them in the underworld, and his love is Persephone. Hades is just a happily married man with 3 dogs who's just happened to be like fused into one. I think the format of this show, of almost a retelling of this story, is perfect. I love the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. If you aren't aware, Orpheus is the son of a muse. He falls in love with Eurydice, who sadly passes away, so he heads down to the underworld to bring her back home. In this musical, the underworld is portrayed as like an industrial pit, where people go once they forfeit their lives to Hades. And that's all I'll say if you haven't seen the show, if you don't know much about it. First, I want to say, let's before we go spoilers and all that jazz, I've never felt so happy to hear natural accents. We heard the incredible Dylan Wood play Orpheus, and he's Scottish, like me. And his raw talent, and it just comes from this, it's incredible. And I just enjoyed so much just the little Scottish emphasis on saying I, and the Scottish pronunciation of go. And like Orpheus says, wherever she is where I'll go. Just is so satisfying to hear them being allowed to use their own accents, and it's just their own voices, and it helps tells the tale. And even listen to the actual like West End soundtrack version of it, and we have an Irish Orpheus. It helps bring to this tale of how storytelling is how we connect to stuff, how we'll be able to listen to stuff over and over. Again, we're going to say spoilers kind of begin now, because there's one spoiler I was not aware of, because I kept it for myself. I knew there was a set change, but I wanted to be surprised for myself. And oh boy, it's just how open it is, and I can't gosh, and it's just the look of the underground. It's very much more industrial, and it's just how the fog rolls in, the turntable, and I'm just so glad this wasn't spoiled for me. You don't realise how great the show is until the moment. And I've heard stories of the Gasp, that when doubt crept in, but seeing it in person, and how much the songs like hook you in, getting optimistic, going like, that yes, I know this story, it's going to work this time, we're going to do it, it's going to be a happy ending. It's not. It lures you in so well that it fooled me. Someone who is obsessed with myths and storytelling. I was fooled, and I will be fooled over and over again. It's a sad story, but it shows that power of storytelling, because they can sing it over and over again, just like how the show ends. They sing it over, repeat the show, but this time with one hope that Orpheus does not turn around. But the thing with Orpheus is, an Orpheus that doesn't turn around is an Orpheus who never went down to the underground. The end of that myth is a tragedy. We all know they're doomed, but it's hope. Hope is something we are filled with. It drives us to see it over and over again. And that's exactly what I will be doing with this show. I will be seeing it again and again, in case it turns out this time. Thank you all for watching. This was a weird one. I hope you enjoy it. I left some of the ramble in, but this was a 2-hour video. Hopefully I'm going to get this down to like 30 minutes, but who knows. I just do think I love, if I had to like rank the things in order, it would be like this. The top two I will be definitely going back to see again. I'm getting lucky to get like cheaper tickets because West End tickets are very pricey. So if you want to support this channel, make sure to like and subscribe and, you know, share it all around, because that's the way we keep going. From me and my theatre right here, I'll see you next time, or maybe on the stream. Till then, and